Hello everybody, how are you? Thank you very much. A nice crowd this morning. I'm very happy to be here. As you know, I'm traveling across the country, but we are not alone. There's a lot of people in Eastern Canada, Western Canada, that are ready to fight for our freedoms, like we are doing right now today. And that election, like I said before, it's more than just an election. It is a kind of a referendum on our way of life, our Western civilization values, because we know that we cannot take for granted our freedom anymore in Canada. Just today, Jason Kenney in Alberta announced that he will impose a vaccine passport also. All that happened because Trudeau and O'Toole are ready to impose also a vaccine passport. What they're saying, they're ready to spend $1 billion, by the way, that we don't have, to be sure that provinces like Ontario, Alberta, Quebec, and all across the country will impose a vaccine passport. And as you know, we believe in freedom. We believe in freedom of choice. Everybody must be free to decide if they want to wear a mask, if they want to have the vaccine. We're not anti-vax, we're not anti-max. We just want to respect everybody. And now they are dividing us by vaccination status. And they are telling me in Quebec the vaccine passport is in force. They are telling me that I cannot go to a restaurant, I cannot go to an hockey game or a baseball game. I cannot participate in the social society. But can you believe that? I'll be able to go to my church Sunday. So there's no logic there. Why? There's no virus in a church, and there are viruses everywhere in a restaurant. Do you know why I'm able to go to my church in Quebec without having the vaccine? It's because the Catholic Church was very efficient at doing their lobby to the provincial government. That's not based on science. That's not based on common sense. That is based on more government control. And we know that if you have the vaccine or not, everybody is in the same boat. Everybody can spread the virus. So why doing segregation and discrimination? There's no reason for that. And actually, if the vaccine is efficient, and I believe that it's efficient, why I cannot be at a restaurant with other people that are vaccinated? I'm not a risk from them. I'm not a risk for them. So that's kind of discrimination that we are fighting against that. And Trudeau used to discriminate against us, you know, people from race and gender and now vaccination status. Yes, people, there's a new term. There's a new term. We call that Trudeau, what Trudeau is doing. It's racial politics. Racial politics. We don't want that here in our country. Racial politics. I'll give you an example of that. Trudeau said, I'll have a new program only for black entrepreneurs. That's discrimination. We don't want that. We will abolish a kind of a program like that. And if we want to help entrepreneurs, that will be a program for every entrepreneur in this country. That's why I said no to political correctness. I said no to racial politics. I said no also to identity politics. For me, you are a Canadian, and I'm doing politics to put Canadians first and our country first. You can count on me. You can count on our candidates all across the country. They will fight for us. And, you know, I had an interview when I started the campaign in my own riding in Beauce. The first day of the election, the mainstream media were there, and they were only there that day because after that they ignored us. But that's the mainstream. That's the mainstream media. Yes. But you know what we're going to do for the CBC. We need to balance the budget, so we will be able to cut. We will save $1 billion to be able to balance the budget. We'll,
my kids were segregated yesterday.
yeah.
We had to stand out in the hallway.
Yeah.
We had to get stopped in the hallway at Canada.
Yeah, we want media, we want the mainstream media to be independent. We want them to be independent. We don't want them to be dependent on the government. So what they said when I did my first press conference for this election in Beauce, I had a couple of questions. Because what I'm saying in Beauce in French, I'm saying the same thing here and all across the country in English. And you know, the provincial government in Beauce, Mr. Legault, is very popular with that vaccine passport. And at the end of my press conference, the journalist asked me, Mr. Bernier, speaking like that, you may not be elected because you know in your riding, there is older people that took the vaccine and they may not vote for you. I said, you know, I respect everybody. We're not anti-vax, like I said. But I said, you know, I won't change. I won't say something to please people in Beauce. I won't pander to people in Beauce. I won't pander to people here in Hamilton, sorry. And what I will do, I'm saying the same thing everywhere. So in Beauce, if they don't like our position against vaccine passport, I will speak about that. And my goal is at the end of this campaign, I hope I'll be able to convince more people. But I prefer to lose with my principles than win on my knee. And that's us. That's the PPC. We are doing politics differently because we are doing politics based on our 4 principles: individual freedom, personal responsibility, respect and fairness. And the platform, this electoral platform, is the same one that we had at the last election in 2019, and it will be the same one at the next election until we win that battle of ideas. Because we know when tyranny becomes law, revolution becomes our duty. It is our duty to stand up, speak out for what we believe. And that common sense revolution will start the 28th of September with a lot of candidates that will be elected in Ottawa. And you will have a freedom voice over there. You will have a common sense voice that will be ready to fight for you. That will be the beginning of that revolution, that ideological revolution in our country. You can count on me. You can count on our candidates all across the country to fight for you. And I can tell you that this country is going in the wrong direction, as you know it. We have more and more socialism in this country at the provincial level and at the federal level. So now O'Toole and Trudeau are saying that, you know, it's okay. We will spend billions of dollars, money that we don't have, and it's okay if we have a deficit. It's okay if we spend more to have a deficit for the next 10 years. But you know what? That deficit, $354 billion, it's not our children and grandchildren that will pay for it. It is us right now, today. And yes, maybe in the future they will pay. It is us. By the inflation tax, we are paying for it. Trudeau and O'Toole are irresponsible. They're telling you, you know, they want to buy your votes with borrowed money, with the Bank of Canada that is printing money out of thin air, $400 billion. And when they're doing that, we have inflation. And now, since 2003, we didn't have that before. We didn't have that, but we have the biggest, highest inflation rate in this country, the official one at 4.1%. You know, 20% inflation is not good, 10% inflation is not good, 4% inflation is not good, but the real inflation, when you do your grocery, it's about 5-6% inflation. Inflation is a hidden tax. Instead of taxing you and taking your own money in your own pockets and forcing you to pay taxes and giving that to Ottawa, what Trudeau and O'Toole are doing with the money that they spend and they want to spend and they want to create more deficit, what they are doing, they're telling you, you can keep your own money in your own pockets, but you won't be able to buy the same amount of goods and services with your money. Prices are going up, your standard of living is going down, your purchasing power is going down, and everybody is poorer. That's the inflation tax. That's the Trudeau and O'Toole's inflation tax. We will fight against that. Because we will take and we will do the right thing to balance the budget in 4 years, to be responsible, and we will ask the Bank of Canada to have a zero inflation target. Zero inflation target, and like that you will keep your purchasing power. That's the only thing to do to have a freer and a more prosperous society. But also, we must balance the budget. And we know that we can do it if we have the courage of our conviction. We can do it, like I said, saving $1.2 billion by cutting CBC and Radio-Canada. And also, no more foreign aid. We can save $5 billion there and bring back that money here in Canada to help Canadians. We are saying no to the UN, the dysfunctional organization. And we will say goodbye to Theresa Tam. I believe that we don't need her anymore. There's no emergency crisis all across this country. So we're gonna tell her, thank you, but we don't need you. We will fire her. And we are saying no to the 2030 UN agenda. We have our own agenda. And our own agenda is to fight for the sovereignty of our country, to say no to the UN Global Compact on migration, to say no to mass immigration and yes to sustainable immigration, to say no to the Paris Accord and a carbon tax. But on all these issues, O'Toole, Trudeau, think they're all the same. They will impose a carbon tax. They're okay with mass immigration. They will impose a vaccine passport. They won't balance the budget in 4 years. And actually, they won't balance the budget because they believe that the budget balanced itself. And so we know that these options suck. And we need to fight for a real new option. That's the BBC. So, if they're telling you that, oh, if you vote for the PPC, it will be a vote for the Liberals, the Conservatives are saying that because they're afraid. They don't have any argument. You know, we are not splitting the vote. O'Toole is doing that. O'Toole is splitting the leftist vote, the Liberal votes. He's not a Conservative anymore. He's only Conservative in name. And so what we are doing and what we are asking Canadians, don't vote against something. Vote for something. Vote for your values. Vote for yourself. Vote for yourself. Vote for what you believe. Because we at the BBC, we believe in you. We believe that you have the ability, the dignity, and the right to make your own decisions and determine your own destiny without having a federal government that will tell you what to do with your life. Yes. Freedom. Freedom, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, because I want you to be free to choose what you want to do with your body. You know, the feminists were telling us a couple of years ago, my body, my choice. And yes, our body, our choice. That's the most important. But we need to have the right information, informed consent. And everybody must be able to decide what they want to do with that vaccine. And I can tell you that we will respect their choice. But we will always there to fight for you without any discrimination, without any segregation, respecting our rights and our freedoms. And our goal is not to do like O'Toole and Trudeau, to divide us. Our goal is to unite Canadians under the freedom umbrella. And yes, speaking about our children, parents must be able to decide if their children will wear a mask or not. That must be a parental decision. Same thing for the vaccine. Parents must be able to decide if their kids will have the vaccine or not. That's not the government business. And that common sense will be everywhere the 20th of September. I know that we will win some seats, and I know that 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 battle for our freedom, for our Western civilization values, will start that 28th of September. But that won't be the end. That will be the beginning, because you can count on me. Yes, I'll be in Parliament with our candidates, but also, the most important, I will always be with you in the street to protest if we have more vaccine passport across this country. We will always do that together. Because, like John F. Kennedy once said, and when he said that, that quote is very actual for today, and we are in the same situation in Canada today. And yes, like John F. Kennedy said in 1961, in the long history of the world, only few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your role, and now is the time. We will fight for freedom all the time until we win that battle. Freedom! 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 We will stay. We will stay strong and free. Thank you. Thank you.